Are they avoidant? Are they a narcissist? Are they just a complete arsehole? Does the label really matter? Hi, I'm Amy and welcome back to my channel. A really warm welcome if you're new here. I'm an attachment style coach and I help anxious attachers break the cycle of avoidant and emotionally unavailable partners so that you can really thrive in your independence and prevent future heartbreak. And in today's video, I'm going to discuss labels and why they don't matter, but what also really matters in these types of dynamics, because I often get asked, are they avoidant? If they are avoidant, is it dismissive avoidant or is it fearful avoidant? And I think people really get kind of obsessed with the label. And I've been here to you guys. I tried to diagnose my ex-partner thinking accidentally that was going to help me move on. And it makes sense that you want to know. It makes sense that you want to know what this person is because you believe that it's going to give you some type of closure to the situation. So I don't want anyone beating themselves up for this. But if it is that you are interested in healing your attachment style, I do have a 6-week self-study course available on my website. It is the complete blueprint of the exact steps I took to heal my anxious attachment into more secure. And if you want a more personal approach, I do offer one-on-one coaching and you can book that on the website as well. But let's get started. So when it is that we're really trying to figure somebody else out, that means that our focus isn't where it needs to be, because when it is that we're in these sort of dynamics with an avoidant, with a narcissist, or with whoever it is, if we're in a dynamic where our attention is mostly focused on the other person, and that's not your fault either, by the way, guys, because the dynamics of this relationship make it so that you are constantly thinking, what are they thinking? What do they need? What do they want? What are they doing? The dynamic is like that. So of course, when you're in these relationships, you are going to be focused on the other person. But when you come out of the relationship, we want to try to shift that focus from the other person towards ourselves. And whilst we are trying to figure the other person out, this means that we're not focusing on ourselves, we're still focused on the other person. And I will go into later on in the video exactly what to do if this is you. So does that label really matter? Because in terms of closure on the relationship, when it is that somebody comes to me who is hyper obsessed with what their ex is, are they a narcissist? Are they an asshole? Are they avoidant? And when they are hyper focused on what that person is, it's almost as if they are trying to, number one, get some closure on the situation, which of course is understandable because these kind of relationships end. There tends to be no closure. So of course you are going to want to find your own closure, but there are healthier ways to do it. And the second thing is to try and get some sort of predictability, because if I know that my ex is avoidant, I can study those traits and I can I can try and guess what's going to happen. So it kind of gives you some sort of security and some sort of certainty for the future. And this happens a lot with anxious attachers because we don't like sitting in the unknown. We don't like sitting in uncertainty. And even if we knew what was going to happen, even if it wasn't what we wanted, it kind of feels better than not knowing at all. So it's the anxious attacher's job to really start to sit with uncertainty, really start to stretch your nervous system to feel just okay. It's not that you've got to like uncertainty or you've got to like not knowing. Just being okay with it is enough, because like I said before, if you are spending most of your time trying to figure this person out, you are not focusing on yourself, you are not processing the ending of this relationship, which means that you're missing out on all of these great gems that are in there. You're missing out on reconnecting with yourself. You're missing out on reclaiming the parts of yourself that you lost in that relationship, and this is so important. So instead of focusing on the label, you guys, what I want you to do instead is focus on how you felt in the relationship. Did you feel loved in that relationship? Did you feel shown up for and supported in that relationship? Did you feel like you could be authentic in that relationship? Did you feel like you could be open and honest with that person? Did you feel like you could bring up what your needs and wants were in the relationship? Because if the answer is no to those, it does not matter what the label of your ex is. If you did not feel loved in your relationship, it really doesn't matter what your ex is. And by doing this, you are actually shifting your focus from them to you, to actually realize deeply and understand deeply that this relationship was not for you. And before long, the more you can start to meet your needs, the more you can start to really reclaim yourself, your boundaries are going to come up naturally. You are going to automatically know what your needs are. You're going to get used to meeting those needs yourself. And eventually, guys, you aren't going to care whether your ex was avoidant or not. They won't be significant enough to you for that to matter, because you are going to be so in tune with yourself and so involved in your own life that that person kind of becomes insignificant. And I'm not saying that this is easy, because, if you were like me, and if you've been in one of these relationships for a long time, you are going to find subconsciously that your mind floats to them. Your mind starts to focus on them and it gets away with you because it's all on autopilot. So it's important that we do our best to break those patterns and bring it back to ourselves and remind ourselves, did I feel loved in that relationship? Did that person show up for me? And ask yourself these questions, because what you're going to do is realize yourself that this relationship was not healthy. It was not what you needed, and you're going to start becoming really clear on what it is that you want in the future. So in short, you guys, no, it doesn't matter. The label doesn't matter. What matters is how you feel. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did and you like this content, please consider subscribing to this channel and leaving this video a like. But I'm Amy, and it's an absolute pleasure to help you improve your self-worth, and I will see you in the next video.